What's up, Taurus? Welcome to your December 2019 general reading. This is going to be for you, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. These messages are not going to resonate with all of you guys, so definitely I invite you to check out your Rising, your Moon, and your Venus. You might get more messages or just a clearer picture by doing that. Yeah, and just I want to say thank you. Thank you for coming to the channel. If you are new, my name is Danny. What's up? If you are returning, what's up? Thank you for coming back. And as always, if you are looking to purchase a personal reading, you can look at my About tab. I've got my menu of services and pricing, so you can figure out exactly what it is that you want. Email me at shesvibeytarot@gmail.com and I will get the ball rolling for you, okay? Let's get into this. Okay, so Taurus. Okay. I'm like, look, I can't get my words out. I feel like this is going to be overall a very good month for you. Really, there aren't, like, if we're just talking about you guys, like you by yourself, I think that things are great. I think you guys are feeling financially stable. I think you guys are feeling pretty powerful. I think if you reach any friction or any irritation this month, it's more on what is going on outside of you, which we know that we cannot control what goes on outside of us, right? So I want you to keep that in mind whenever you start to feel a little agitated or feel like you might want to pop off or abruptly end something or whatever, okay? I say that as well because you guys got the camel as your spirit animal card, right? And the camel is really resourceful, right? The camel is really about mixing the two opposite elements together. You've got the fire and the water, right? It's a fire animal, but you know, the water is held within the camel. So it's basically indicating that whenever we are agitated or things get heated or we're in a fiery moment, you have what is within, like you have what you need within you to cool yourself off. You have what you need within you to come to the solution, to solve the problem, that type of thing. Again, very resourceful. And the camel knows itself, right? Another thing to remind ourselves about the camel is the camel takes responsibility for its actions and for its reactions. So again, there may be moments where you're feeling a little spicy, you know what I mean? And it doesn't feel like it's anything going on with you. Again, if we're talking about you, just you guys are doing great. And not to say that other things are doing bad, but I do feel like there's other things outside of you that can cause a little bit of a this month, okay? So just be mindful of that. Remember, you have exactly what it takes. So this month is going to be a really good time for you to do things that ground you. If you know, whether that's taking walks, meditations, that sort of thing, listening to good material. I know when I'm kind of spun, I like to listen to a lot of Esther Hicks, Les Brown, Tony Robbins, you know, whoever your favorite motivational speakers are. I like to read a lot more material and really just kind of get into myself more and kind of block out the outside noise, right? Because again, you can only control you. But we're going to definitely get into this. So I'm going to clarify some things. Now, bottom of the deck, you guys have that King of Cups card. King of Cups has actually been showing itself quite a lot in these readings so far. So King of Cups, most elevated of a suit, right? This is Cups, so this is water energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. This is someone who has emotional intelligence. This is someone who, again, is able to ride the wave. So again, if there are parts of this month that feel a little tricky or feel a little, you know, you're getting a little bit of that Sagittarius energy in you, wanting to kind of pop off and be impulsive, cool yourself down, right? Cool yourself down. Because right after the Sagittarius season, we have the Capricorn season, and that's where we have to really get real and get very mature. And I think a lot of you guys are probably already feeling a sense of that, which may be making you feel a little bit more rigid than normal because it's like you know what's to come in terms of that. But also there is almost like this mystery of you not knowing which way things are going to work out for you. So I think that I think that has to do with a lot of the agitation too. Like, let's say if this is relationship wise, you just kind of not knowing where the other person is landing, what's going on in their life, like maybe communication isn't as great right now. So it's kind of causing you to react in ways that are a little spicier, make you feel a little bit more vulnerable, make you feel a little more agitated. And so just be very mindful of that. Everything is fine, okay? So you guys start out with Queen of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, and Magician. Beautiful, beautiful. Love all three of these cards, right? Queen of Pentacles, she is your energy. This is earth energy. Again, just like the kings, the queens are very elevated too, but they bring more of that feminine energy to the situation. Now, earth energy is already feminine energy, but with the Queen of Pentacles, it brings more of that nurturing, right? The Queen of Pentacles, she's very disciplined. She's someone who is very money-minded. So I think in terms of your money, in terms of your career, even in terms of maybe your immediate family, I think that things are actually going very well. I think that you guys are feeling very stable, very much in a powerful place. You know, some of you guys just, again, finding more things to ground you, that type of thing. Maybe feeling a little bit more earthy these days, which is really, really great. Eight of Cups is clarifying that. Eight of Cups, Eight of Cups, Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups is whenever we're emotionally walking away from something, right? At the bottom of the deck right now, we've got the Eight, or the Tower card. The Tower always happens whenever the universe kind of steps in to try to help us redirect ourselves. Some of you guys may be feeling like you're doing everything alone, right? This might be a time where you are really stepping out in your independence and really trying to not depend emotionally, financially, whatever, on people around you. And that is great. But just make sure that you're not, what's the right word? Not cutting yourself off in a way, and not selling yourself short. I think that especially in terms of relationships, if this has to do with a relationship, let's say you're not knowing where things are going, maybe the communication has been a little bit stagnant and things are up in the air. I do feel like you guys are kind of doing something where you're kind of separating yourself emotionally, not necessarily saying that you're walking away fully, but I think that you're pulling back emotionally a little bit, which is fine. Because, you know, sometimes we have to do that in order to kind of get our footing back, especially if we see that we're starting to give way too much to a situation, right? And Tauruses, you guys are such great people. You guys are all about love and family and all that stuff, that you will give your everything to a situation. And sometimes that leaves you feeling like you're without. So I think there is this little bit of fear of, ooh, I don't know what's going on with this person, or ooh, I don't know what's going on here, so I'm going to pull back a bit because I don't want to get hurt. And that's fine, but just recognize where that comes from and make sure that that doesn't mean that you're just completely shutting down and locking down all possibilities of things, right? Because you do have that Ace of Wands that is coming up next. So this is new action. This is new spark. This is new inspiration. And it's probably what you've been waiting for. Now that Queen of Pentacles, that was in the past position. So again, you guys might be coming out of a space where you were feeling like you had to separate from a certain something because like you just couldn't read it anymore. And it was starting to feel uncomfortable to you. And you were starting to get those fears of, oh my God, I'm about to be used. I'm about to be a dumbass. I'm about to be cheated on. I'm about to be whatever. But then we come into this Ace of Wands energy where there's new action. So for a lot of you guys, I feel like if you were in a relationship, let's say something didn't necessarily go wrong, but you all of a sudden just felt like this need to pull back. I feel like there was a decision, Two of Swords, that kind of leads you onto this new track, whether it be a new person or whether it be you guys revamping what is already there, bringing the spark back into the situation, really talking about how you're going to set the foundations in the relationship, right? Because I feel like that's what was missing. Now, Four of Wands is all about the foundations. It's very much a soulmate card. It's very much about marriage. It's about celebrating, having something to celebrate. And I think for a lot of you guys, especially let's say if you were talking to someone or dating someone for a while and things just felt like they weren't going anywhere, maybe you pulling back kind of helped them, especially if this is an air sign person, you know, Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius, come to this decision that they have to, I almost feel like it was by their doing, like almost like, okay, you guys pull back and they're like, oh shit, let me get on it. And that little bit of pullback actually sparked something new, right? where you guys are going to go forward and really fill the situation out. Because I feel like you guys were just starting to feel like things were getting too stagnant, and I feel like you were starting to get really agitated by that. But the little energy that you did of pulling back emotionally, and that doesn't mean stop caring about the person, but stop chasing, you know, less chasing and more attracting. It actually pulled them more towards you, to where now they're ready to have these talks of, okay, let's get this started again. Okay, let's take action, right? Wands are all about action. And we are in fire season. We are in Sagittarius season, where people are going to be wanting to take more action. And so I think that this actually worked for you guys in a way, because it's helping to solidify things. So now we come to a place where things are getting going again, right? That Magician card, that's all about having the confidence to move forward. That's about having the power to move forward. That's about knowing that you have every tool you need on your table in order to do whatever it is that you're trying to do. But we do have the Temperance card. So there is the need to kind of go with the ebb and flow of things. Things can't be rushed. This cannot be rushed. This is something that is going to need to take time, right? This is something that if you want it, it's going to require a little bit of patience on your part, right? It's going to require a little bit of patience, but you guys are being divinely guided with this Temperance card. This is hope. This is healing. This is patience. This is about finding that perfect balance, right? Of being both grounded and emotionally in something. And I think for a lot of you guys, you felt like you maybe had your head in the clouds a little bit too in the clouds, where you're like, oh shit, I need to get grounded because I don't even feel like myself anymore, right? And that's fine. That little bit of pullback kind of helped to spark something again, right? But I will say, this is not something to be rushed into. Take your time with this, because I feel like there are still things happening that need to be worked out. And this isn't something that you can work out. This is outside of you. And there are still things that you guys are still, that you, well, not even you, I feel like that person is still weighing out and still having to deal with and still trying to find balance in. So if this situation, especially in terms of love, is sounding familiar to you, there's still a little bit more work that needs to be done. And I think that this is going to be a slower process. And I say that because next you've got the Two of Pentacles, you've got the Three of Wands, and you've got the Knight of Pentacles. Now we know Pentacle energy is slow. Y'all's energy is the slowest of the deck, right? It's the slowest of the elements. And then the Three of Wands is talking about waiting. So again, I just feel like there's some type of, you guys have been starting to feel impatient, but I feel like you guys are starting to feel impatient because a lot of you guys, I feel like, you know, this is a situation that it wasn't going to be rushed into. It couldn't have been rushed into, depending on whatever the particulars are around this situation. But the fact that nobody was saying anything or communicating anything, or for you showing you any actual action, you're just like, well, fuck it, right? I mean, even in the environment, we've got the Two of Pentacles. So this is what's happening around you. This could be a person or a situation. So whether this is like a job opportunity or whether this is a relationship opportunity, there's been feeling like there's been like this kind of wobble that you guys have not been cool with, right? Now, I do want to pay attention to the fact that all of these cards at the bottom, the Two of Pentacles, the Three of Wands, and the Knight of Pentacles, these all talk about travel to me. So I don't know if that is the deal. Right? Let's say this is a long-term thing. Look, we've got Two of Pentacles. They've got the ocean and the boat back there. We've got this person waiting with the Three of Wands. And then, you know, all knights are travelers. So I don't know if that's the deal. You guys waiting on that, maybe waiting on a visit, maybe waiting to talk about possible moves. But whatever it was, there's still like this little back and forth, this, you know, that's going on that I think is making you guys feel a little uncomfortable and a little irritated, because I think you're sitting to the side like, look, I got my shit together. Can you get yours? You know, that kind of thing. Communication is key. If you guys are feeling out of the dark, communication is key. And I feel like this person's going to be coming to you to communicate. Now, this is King of Swords energy. Again, we are getting that air energy. So you might be dealing with an air sign, Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. But I think it's important to have the honest communication, cut through any clouds and any maybe missions. Like this is important in order to see all of your options that you guys have before you, so that you guys can know which way to move forward. And I think that's what you've been waiting for, Taurus, and it's been a little bit frustrating. And again, I don't feel like you guys mind waiting to a degree, but if you're waiting and you just don't know what's going on, let's say they're not being the most vocal, I think that's what's kind of driving you crazy. Magician. Magician twice. Okay? Magician twice. I think you guys are worried too that you will wait all this time and then it'll end up being nothing, which I understand. There's 8 of Swords, so this is the energy of being stuck. I feel like you guys are feel like this person is stuck, and then in turn it makes you feel like you're stuck, but you're not. You've actually got the Magician, right? So I never like to tell people to wait on people. I really don't like to tell people what to do, period. I'm just trying to give you the information so that you guys know what you want to do. But I will say, if this scenario is sounding familiar, sorry, let me clean these up. The whole damn deck fell out. This is something that's going to require your patience. I will say that. And it is something that is going to be moving slow, but it is something that even moving slow is going to be very solid with that Knight of Pentacles, right? That's not a flighty energy. That is the energy of someone who's thinking long term. And I think this December actually has a lot of us signs thinking long term. So naturally things are going to take a little slower to progress, but they're going to be real. You know what I mean? So again, you guys could be dealing with someone who lives far away. I see there's a lot of opportunity for travel coming up here, December and going into January. The camel even talks about travel. He's a world traveler, right? 9 of Pentacles. I think everything's going to be okay with this. I just think the main thing is that communication. If you guys feel like you don't know where this is heading, then you start to get a little loopy, and then you start to get a little testy, and then you start to get a little agitated, and I understand. But if you guys sit down with the person, have the talks that are necessary to have, I think you'll feel so much better. Now, you are standing here with this 9 of Pentacles energy, right? Again, I feel like you guys have, for the most part, you guys have your shit under control. You got your money good. You got your career. You take good care of yourself. It's very, it's a very good, strong, solid, independent energy. But at the same time, look at this. With this Knight of Pentacles, it's like you're waiting for this to hurry up and rush in. There's a little bit of this impatience. And it's interesting because you got the 9 of Pentacles here, and then you've got the Knight of Pentacles holding the 1 Pentacle, which is 10 Pentacles, your legacy. You guys are thinking long term. But you know what? I feel like they are too. I just feel like there's mess around. Now, as added messages, we've got the 10 of Wands, the High Priestess, and the 5 of Wands. Again, I feel like there's a lot of things, people, situations outside of yourself that are causing delays in certain things, and I think it's driving a bit kooky. I think things are going to start to get a little bit better now that we're out of Scorpio season and out of that retrograde, the Mercury retrograde that was in Scorpio season, which we knew that was going to be heavy. But still things are moving quite slow, but steady. And again, I feel like most of you guys are fine with that as long as you know what's going on. But the second you feel like you're out in the dark, it's like, well, fuck, what am I waiting for? Now, this 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Wands, make sure that you're not taking on things that don't belong to you, right? Making sure that you're being very mindful, making sure that you're getting the rest that you need. I feel like a lot of you guys are getting overworked. You might, colds and all that are definitely a thing that might be flying around to you if you're not taking the proper care of yourself. And I think that you guys are doing it. 10 of Pentacles is clarifying this. It's all, you guys are, again, building future forward to your legacy, all of that. And that's great. But making sure that you're taking out the time that you need for your self-care, because if you don't, then nobody's going to make that money. Nobody's going to make those changes. Like, nobody's going to be able to do anything, right? But I love that it's a 10 of Wands, because that means that it's the end of that cycle. So I think you guys are coming out in a better place. Now, with this High Priestess and the Knight of Pentacles, remember, trusting your intuition, really trusting what's guiding you, right? Trusting everything. There is the Knight of Pentacles that is clarifying that. Again, Knight of Pentacles twice, big message. Things are moving slow, but they're moving steady. I think as long as you guys keep those open lines of communication, you'll be fine. You may be feeling like there's secrets here. You may be feeling like someone's hiding something here. I don't feel that. I don't feel like there's any kind of deceitful, weird shit like that. But I think there are things that you don't know and things that you don't understand, that if you guys open those lines of communication, you'll have a better understanding, and you'll be, you know, like, you'll feel better about the things that are going on with you. 5 of Wands clarified by the 10 of Wands. So 10 of Wands twice, 5 of Wands twice. Oh no, you don't have twice. 10 of Wands twice. Yes. 10 of Wands twice. Again, 5 of Wands is a lot of times that outside drama, that those things going on. 10 of Wands is that being tired, that being, you know, feeling taken advantage of, just tired of the drama, tired of the mess, holding on to too much, taking on too many responsibilities. Someone that you're dealing with, they might be going through all of this, which is something that they're not communicating to you. So while you're thinking that there's something going on or another person going on, it could just be that they are completely the fuck overwhelmed. That's what I'm getting. There's a lot going on and they're overwhelmed and they're trying to handle it, because I don't think they want to bring you more bullshit, but their communication has to step it up. And if they can't, then you can step it up. You can open up the lines of communication. It's not just on them, right? Now, 2 cards fell out. You got Bountiful Nature and Do the Work. So Bountiful Nature says, spending time in nature helps you shift to a higher vibration and reminds you of God's infinite abundance. Go outside and enjoy a walk or hike with your pet, meditate beneath a tree, garden, sit under the stars, or do some other activity to connect with limitless vastness. Again, especially if you guys are starting to feel agitated, especially if you are starting to feel impatient, it's a good idea to just do something nice for yourself. Now, if you're in the northern hemisphere, the weather's getting pretty gnarly out here, so you probably can't do a whole lot of outside activities, but find something else that makes you feel good, makes you feel grounded. Maybe, you know what I like to do, especially when the weather's all messed up? I like to rearrange my house. I like to rearrange stuff in my room. I like to, you know, do that, because that kind of shifts the energy too. Sometimes we can feel so stuck and stagnant with everything the same. So even just moving your plant or moving a chair or moving something like that can kind of shift around the energy too, and you can start to feel a little bit better. Okay. Now, do the work. It is not enough to dream or pray. You've also got to take the positive action steps that you are being divinely guided to take. Consistently working on your priorities will make them flourish like a lush flower garden. Again, keeping your tunnel vision in terms of what your priorities are, not getting too wrapped up in terms of whatever else is going on, right? That's where we get a lot of times this 10 of Wands energy, because a lot of times we're trying to take on other people's struggles, other people's responsibilities. We're taking on things that don't belong to us. So almost have tunnel vision with that, right? Do your own work, focus on your own things. I think that is going actually very, really good for you. And again, take the steps you're divinely guided to take. That's like that divine, you know, guidance, that feminine energy, that knowing, that intuition. So really trusting that. You got that, and you got the King of Cups up here as your bottom of the deck. Both of those, all those, like, it talks about intuition too. So really be trusting it. It's working for you, okay? And then in terms of love, 3 of them popped out, which we've got true love. This is a romance of a lifetime. So blood out. Passion, allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. Blood out. And honeymoon, enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. So again, I felt like there was a lot of traveling happening, a lot of planning for trips happening. So enjoy your time together. Enjoy your time alone, whatever that is. I think that you guys are a lot of you guys are in a situation that it's very promising, but there's some kinks to be worked out, and there's some communication to be had, so that you guys are on the same page, so that you guys feel like you're in this together and not like they're doing something over here and you're just like, so what's going on? You know what I mean? So open up those lines of communication. I feel like everything's going to be okay. Take on what's only yours, and remember to be mindful, because remember that camel, it does take responsibility for the things that it says and the actions that it takes and the reactions that it has. So just, you know, being mindful, being true to you, knowing that you can go deep within and cool your own self off. I think this is going to be a really powerful month for you guys. Okay. So I love you, and I'll see you soon. Bye, Taurus.